welcome to part 2 of the Mother's Day special. If you have not seen part 1, check that out. I just gave this beautiful lady, my mother, a makeover. Just look at her, not so much a makeover, but I did her makeup. Makeover seems like she went from like bleh to no, she was always fine. But today I just did something a little special for her. So look how beautiful she is. If you want to see the making of this, plus a little footage of us having coffee and kind of talking with each other, check out part 1. So this is part 2, which is the Q&A that I wanted to do with her. This is the first thing I've ever, I'm trying to like formulate my words. This is the first time I've ever done something like this with her. So I kind of wanted you guys to kind of be in on this because I know that we're all quarantined and this is the first time most of us have ever had to spend Mother's Day in this form. So I kind of wanted to spend Mother's Day with you guys, give you something to smile about. We both wanted to, this is kind of like our Mother's Day gift to you guys. So yeah, so this is part 2. So we're just gonna get into it. I don't have any set prepared questions to ask her. I wanted this to be as just chill and authentic as possible. And I kind of wanted you guys to also hear her answers. My parents aren't very public like that, so this is a chance for you guys to kind of hear what Lady White has to say.
Lady White?
Okay. Okay,
Stacy.
So my mom, for those of you who don't know, my mom is a first lady of a church, and she hates the stereotype. She loves being a first lady, but she hates the stereotype of a first lady. So whenever you call her Lady White or First Lady Stacy, she kind of gets on. She likes it. Don't get me wrong. Okay, do not take this wrong. If you call her First Lady Stacy or Lady White like that, like she's not gonna hate it, but she hates it when I call her that because like she doesn't. It's hard to explain. She loves being a first lady. She just doesn't like the stereotype around it. So she kind of cringes when I like Lady White. She's just like, so to her. She's Daisy. Okay, so straight to the Q&A. So my first question for you is, what was your favorite memory of me as a little girl?
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, for those who follow her channel, what you see today here at 25 years old is exactly what I saw at, it's either 14, 16 weeks pregnant. You know, first baby, so we're so excited to go to have an ultrasound, and we didn't want to know the sex, so we told the ultrasound tech to not let us know the sex, but you know, of course, to do everything else that was necessary. And of course, you know, mommies, you drink all that water, you're ready for your ultrasound, and she's like, I'm sorry, I know Mrs. White, I know you have to use the restroom, but it's like this baby, I mean, it's cooperating, but it's like it knows it's on camera. And I'm like, it's like it knows it's on TV. It's like I feel like I'm chasing this baby around with this wand. And of course, me and her dad just started laughing. And we're like, oh Lord, does that mean it's going to be a busy baby? She was like, no, I'm just saying that, you know, it's like they noticed that light was there and it just started, you know, like, you know, Amber, dun, 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 dun. So who you see today is what I saw on an actual ultrasound tech screen at 17 weeks way back in 1994. So that's my favorite memory. I have 1,000, but that would be, yeah, who you see today is exactly what we saw. So we got a preview.
Okay. What does motherhood look like for you now that your oldest, being me, is in their mid-20s?
Oh, so much easier. Her dad would always say, oh, I love the babies, I love the babies, I love the babies. And I would say from day one, I can't wait till they get over the age of 13. And most mommies would say, why would you do that? That's like teenage. And I just knew I would be a better mom to teenagers than I was to 0 to 12 and a half. I don't know. You guys being older makes it so much easier. I have a hard time explaining that, but I've been saying that for 25 years, that life was easier for me when they were older. My husband feels the exact opposite. He likes that whole 10 and under. But
shout out to all the mommies out there who are like, who have to like homeschool their kids.
Quarantine. I pray for you every morning. This
Oh
is
my
no
gosh.
exaggeration.
I'm not a mom, but I can only imagine what it's like to juggle children who are still grade school age and everything. See, it's me and Austin here now, and Austin is literally a senior in high school.
Yes.
So he's literally finishing that journey where he doesn't need to be homeschooled anymore. And of course, you know, I actually just graduated college. So, you know, yeah, that, you know, I guess that's a perfect example of easier.
For me, it was easier on so many levels. I feel like as married people, you are learning your spouse. You're going through those, you know, tumultuous waters. Can we just say that? Along with little babies or, you know, children, they need their minds molded. Captain Kangaroo said, I know I'm aging myself, but Captain Kangaroo said, pretty much newborn to 11 are foundational years, and what you plant at that time, they have lasting results, negative or positively. So I agree with that. And so you couple that with marriage and, you know, finding out who you are, growing up with your spouse, you know, it could be a lot. So I'm liking mommyhood, you know, the last 10, how old are you, 25? Last 10, 12 or so years, 13, yeah.
Okay. What is your advice for parents who have a kid that is going through depression?
Oh, so first of all, shout out to everyone who has beat or in the fight for any type of mental illness. I don't want to just single out depression. Having fought it and beat it myself, I understand what it looks like and what it feels like. And so to have a child experience that was devastating. Now, the blessing was I had kind of fought it, beat it, had a maintenance plan in place. So I was able to recognize it. But to the mommies out there, you have to, and we're believers, by the way. So if you hear me say the Lord, then that's who we are. I don't know if I could have gotten through it without the Lord. But I was able to look for the cues and the signs and know that some of the irrational behavior and wasn't directed at us per se. And it tested my faith like children are supposed to. So my faith was tested. I had to continue to speak life to my daughter at her lowest state, which was difficult, but I could not afford to cancel my petition by speaking death. So don't give up, mommies and daddies. There's tons of scriptures, there's tons of confessions, but you have to be able to stand and say, I don't know when this is going to end, but it is, and we're going to beat this. I believe in everyone from a life coach all the way up to psychiatric care and everything in between. That is very important as well. It's important. It was important for us on our journey. And, but for me, I wanted to, you know, kind of go through that valley and then to my mountaintop. I didn't want to stay there. So, to have a child go through it, it's real. I know it's one of those, they call it the invisible disease. You can't see it. The invisible illness, like other things you can physically look at and touch, and you know, you can look at it to see, oh, it's getting better, it has a scab, you know, but that one, but thank God for the Lord, thank God for Jesus' sacrifice, because he is why we overcome and always continue to overcome. Shout out to my precious Jessica. This is my nephew's wife. She just recently put a post out on her blog on yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. She spoke to anxiety and her trial to triumph journey. It was powerful. So the struggle continues, but we are overcomers. We are overcomers. I'm sorry that was so long.
No. But you know what? And I know that question was kind of like, dang, we went from high to low real quick. But we are in the middle of a pandemic, and like I said, I'm not a parent, but I know a lot of parents are probably dealing with their children and teenagers dealing with the emotional highs and lows that come with something like this that no one has ever really seen before. So Special shout out to anyone who is going through mental health struggles. For those of you who know me, I'm a huge mental health advocate, excuse me. And yeah, so that is something that I wanted you guys to hear her take on it. And she's been a humongous help for me. So I'm glad that you guys kind of got to hear, I guess, both perspectives. There are other videos on my channel where I kind of speak more on my perspective and my experiences. So my next question is, how would you balance having kids and being a wife?
Well,
once again, I know that's a broad question. These are questions I want to know.
There is no dress rehearsal for parenting and marriage. So you live and you learn and you don't take yourself too seriously because you're going to make mistakes. How I balance parenting and marriage is prayer, number one. Second, not that my babies are older, it's a lot easier for me to steal away and get what I want. I love my home. I'm a homebody. I do have, family and friends that I like to hang out with, but I do believe in self-care. It's just not a buzzword because it's 2019, 2020, if you will. Self-care is important, and it doesn't necessarily have to be tangible things. Stealing away, spending time with yourself, sleeping in, and sleeping in some more. Getting up, taking a shower, putting on some more pajamas, and going back to bed. That's self-care. So that's how I balance. I do believe in goals. I do believe that I have an obligation, especially with the ministry, to set goals and to be steadfast on those goals. But I never beat myself up like I did in the past when I didn't reach a goal. Ask for forgiveness, ask for grace, keep it going. And that's how it is. I don't believe at this age I take it so, it's serious, but I don't beat myself up. The life is short. I've seen a lot of people leave here. I'm sure you guys have as well. And it just helps cement the fact that take it easy, enjoy life. You guys know I believe in a good vacation or 2 or 4, if the year permits it. So yeah, I take time for myself. I work hard, so I try to play as hard as I work. That's how I balance parenting, marriage, and everything else on my plate.
All right.
That was a good answer.
It was. And I'm trying to see from there. What does female empowerment look like to you?
Wow. I thought you would ask some questions that wouldn't take so much time. I'll try to sum it up. Female empowerment for me is overcoming something that you didn't feel you were equipped to do because of whatever obstacles. I'm a firm believer that no one has the ability to stop me from doing what I am purposed to do. So that in itself is a whole 4, 5, 7, 10 chapter book. But I'm going to summarize it by saying this. I am my worst critic and I am my hardest competition. So when I empowered, it's because I say, Stacey, you made some goals. You said you were going to do this. Now, what did you allow yourself to say as an excuse for you not to do it? Currently, shout out to everybody on the quarantine struggle, raw foods. So my health and keeping my diet has been let me see if I'm about to be 50 this year. It has been a 45-year.
Y'all hear that? She about to be 50.
It's been a 45-year journey. 50. But I'll use that one. I empowered myself by saying, what does your best self look like? And I know for me, it is a certain fitness level. I won't say weight. It's a certain fitness level. I know when I feel my best physically, when I'm able to do certain things and handle certain types of rigorous training. I feel better when I'm a little older now, so I feel better 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 hours of sleep. Quarantine, thank God for quarantine. I can blame it on that.
It has its benefits.
So I'm empowered. I'm just going to continue to use my health. I'm empowered when I am able to take the excuses off the table that are prohibiting me from getting to my goals. I'm going to circle back around to mental health. After beating depression, I have a total regimen to stay depression free. So I believe in the power of confession. I believe in, the proper nutrients. I believe in the sun. Michigan is not being so nice right now, but I believe that I have to do my part to make sure that I'm reaching my goals. And that's when I feel empowered. I remember graduating. We talked about that recently because you just got your degree. I remember how that was one of the happiest days of my life because I know what obstacles were in front of me. And come what may, I was determined to walk across that stage. Come what may, I have some goals for 2020, regardless of COVID-19. I am determined to not use those as an excuse. I'm editing a book right now. I'm having a book edited. That was, it was a lot. It was a lot, but that in itself empowered me because I had every excuse to give up and say, I just can't do it. But I finished, and I finished by the deadline. So ladies, men, young, old, you are your worst critic and you are your hardest competition. Get over yourself, as my sister Mona says. Not necessarily get over yourself, but like get over all of the excuses that you're putting in your way to not reach whatever goal you have. That's how I am empowered, and that's how I pray that you empower yourself.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get to some more lighter questions.
I know,
I'm like, who do I think I am? Oprah?
Right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'll ask some more light, fun questions. Okay. Let's see. It's like all my questions are...
A few moments later.
All right, sorry about that. I had to free some storage on my phone. So back to our questions. My next question would be, what is your biggest fear as a mom?
Oh, that your children don't live up to their potential. So there's two parts to that. Part one is I'm hoping that I don't do anything as a parent that will have devastating, lasting effects. You hear people say, wow, this happened to me when I was this age or when I was a child, and they sometimes just spin and never quite, overcome it. So my challenge, I don't want to use the word fear, but my challenge is for myself is to make sure that I am empowering my children to be their best and to make sure that they know it's okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to use the mistakes as excuses to not do better. And live up to your best potential. I pray that my children will say from the time that they were maybe younger, and here I am now, entering my next decade, that my mom got better. My mom, it was a little rough there for a minute. I was a little nervous. But I want them to know that as I grow and share my challenges and transparent with what I go through, that they can understand that you don't necessarily have to have it all together. Life is a continual journey. It's unscripted. It's on-the-job training. So my biggest challenge, I would say, is just making sure that you guys live up to your fullest potential and that I not cause any detriment in the process.
Okay. What's your favorite part about having a daughter?
Oh, so
I'm the only girl in the family, so.
And that's all we needed.
Why did you say like? Okay, so like, I don't want to dive too deep into that, but like, I don't understand why people be acting like having a daughter is just such like.
It's not a lot of work. It's just that we knew we knew as well as God. Obviously, He knew as well that we only needed one. Amber's name means 1 in a million. It's a precious gem, rare, hard to find. And can you imagine a poor little other girl in this house trying to deal with this? But no, it has been the best teaching for me. When I was pregnant with Amber, I was like 9 months waddling around. We had just got our new little first house. And I was attempting to kind of sit down on the living room sofa and, you know, just sit there in the morning, have a little quiet prayer time. And I thought I could just kind of get on my knees and just, man, she went to balling up, kicking, and, you know, and I'm like, goodness, this child is working me before she even gets here. I'm saying she, but we didn't know what it was at that time. But I remember the Lord telling me, seriously, guys, he said, everything you will ever need for this baby, you're going to find it right here. Prayer. On your knees, submitted, quiet. No truer words have been spoken. So while she didn't need any siblings / female siblings, not my decision, but she has challenged me to grow my tail up. So the good thing about a girl is this, you know, the glam, the glitz, and she's a girly girl too. She is, you know, a joy. Girls are fun, but girls challenges, let me get this right, challenges their moms, I think, a lot more than boys. I do. Because I'm supposed to duplicate myself, right? And so she's had me on my toes since 1995. And so while I love, we've had our challenges like any other relationship, but I like that I'm starting to see a little bit of me. I didn't think that would happen. Starting to see a little bit of me, that fight, that go get it spirit, that we're not giving up. Okay, that didn't quite turn out the way we wanted it to. Well, let's go back to the drawing board. But to throw the board out, not even an option. So girls are fun. Girls challenge you. She is, well, you know, she's Amber, so she brings a certain light to our home. You know, we're super boring without her. She's the definition of creative. And girls are, or having a girl has been good. And I'm glad I had you first. I don't know that Amber could have been a middle child. And she definitely couldn't be a baby, because how can you be more spoiled than what she already is? So, yeah, the Lord knew what he was doing. First and foremost, you know, the boys needed a second mom. They don't think so, but somebody to kind of keep them on their toes as well. So,
With them and shit.
Yeah, that's a good part about having a girl. You kind of start to see yourself over time, and that's been good. That's been good. Yes.
Do you feel like you're a good mom?
Oh, now I do. I struggled. Those first, I'll speak to like our relationship. Those first, girl, it didn't start making a turn till I would say about college.
Literally.
People were waiting to see if I was gonna say like 8.
No.
College is when I started to say, oh, okay, now we can have some big girl conversations. So it's been good. So I didn't think I was a good parent, because I think I was, again, too hard on myself, but I was doing what I knew was best for my maturity level at the time. You know, you try your best to emulate what you saw that was good from your own parents. Doesn't mean it was good for your own home, though. So you make a lot of mistakes, but I look back now and say the oldest child is just a lot stronger. They're born leaders. They're a lot more resilient because they're growing up with their parents in certain cases. I know that was definitely the case with us. But yes, I think I'm a good mom now. Had you asked me that about 15 years ago, you were 10. I'm like, no, I'm struggling out here. You know, Jesus made a mistake and gave me 3 kids. They belong to somebody else. Can somebody adopt them, please? But no, now I think I'm a great mom. And partly because I don't take myself too serious. When my kids will say, oh, Mom, see, that was you, or you were just so this and you were so that, I'll be like, I think you did okay. I think you did okay. Okay, made a few mistakes. But overall, you guys are great. You guys are great.
And
I'm proud to call you mine.
And to speak to that, it's like, you know, yeah, our relationship was rocky. But the thing is that, you know, no relationship is perfect. Not every mother and daughter grows up the best of friends from beginning to end. You know, I'm sure as we all know. But I don't know, I can say God really did bring us together. And of course, it took me getting older, growing up, experience the world and realize, wow, like not only was my mother right about a lot of things, but like she really did have my back when I thought she didn't. And even though she could have done some things better, you know, I have to give her the grace that God gives all of us.
Absolutely.
So I think since then, when I say I am obsessed with this woman, obsessed with this woman, and I told myself I was not gonna get emotional in this video.
We're not getting
We're
emotional.
not.
My face is too
Right.
cute
Your face is too
to
big.
get emotional.
Your face is too big. And
This is us.
I don't even know. I don't know if I have any other big questions.
Okay.
Because this is just kind of like off the rip. I kind of wanted you guys to hear what she had to say about some things. Oh, I'll close with this one final question. If Grammy was still here, I know. It's
Mother's
that.
Day weekend.
I know.
Okay.
If Grammy was still here, Grammy Joyce was here, would you ask her anything concerning motherhood, or would you tell her anything concerning her being a mom?
Well, my sister Mona says this, and I think all of my brothers and sisters echo this same sentiment. I, as a mom, don't feel I missed anything. So my mother was exemplary, and you know, she was my superwoman. She was amazing. Flawed, absolutely, but just my mother, she meant that. She took parenting serious. Her and my dad. So I don't feel that I wasn't equipped. Even though I lost my mom at 21, I don't feel that I wasn't equipped to be a mom. I never once felt that, oh, I won't be able to be a good mom because I didn't have my mother past a certain age. No, she did that. So, but if she were here, of course, I think about her all day, every day, and have been for the last 27, 28 years now that it's been, maybe a little more than that. Kind of lost track. But because the older you get, the more you realize how much they sacrificed and loved, and the lengths that they went through to make sure that we had what we needed. It was just, I'm speechless at times, and that's saying a lot. She was, so I just want to tell her thanks. I can't wait to hug her neck when I get to glory one day, but I want to tell her thank you that yes, like she just said, you were right, Mom, all that time. And you equipped me through just the best example to be a mom. And 95% of that was because she told me about the Lord. She told me that prayer is the only way. That's been my ammunition, is what she would say. So that's the only way you're going to be able to do this and be able to be successful at it. So loving mom, fun mom, funny. My mom was funny. You would think with all those children, she had to have a sense of humor. She was funny. She was extremely intelligent, enterprising. She could cook and bake, and she was beautiful, and she was cool. She was a cool mom. Like, I was getting to that age where, you know, like where Amber is. Oh, I can hang out with her. I can call her and talk about Roselle behind his back and get, you know, mommy advice. So she was the bomb.com. She was the bomb.com. So I would tell her that I loved her and thank you. But I don't believe I missed anything because she was an exemplary mom. That's real talk, for real.
Well, on that note, we're gonna stop it right here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this Q&A and the first video has brought some type of joy and happiness into your lives. I know you guys can't go out and do your usual Mother's Day activities, but hopefully you guys have found a way to celebrate your moms, you know, in your own special way, even during this quarantine. And much love goes out to anyone who has lost their mom in this pandemic. I can't even imagine.
I'm praying.
Our hearts are with you.
Yes.
For anyone who's lost a grandma, who's a great grandma, a mother figure.
Yes.
You know, so you know, our hearts go out to you. I know this is super hard. And I understand that this video could even be triggering for you, but for those who are watching and who still have moms or hasn't experienced that right now, keep in mind and give a special shout out or call to anyone who doesn't have their mom here on this earth right now. Because, I have not experienced Mother's Day without my mom. But like I said, I can only imagine. So with that said, we love you guys. Be blessed and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.